Hello friends, today I am going to discuss with you about my new toy Jetson Nano. Yes, it is for digital people. I got introduction about this toy by oh my god Ubuntu and Twitter. When I first look at it, I just rushed to check out another tweet, but again I back and check out more details about Jetson Nano. Nvidia unveiled the Jetson Nano at the GTC 2019. Researchers, makers, enthusiasts CUDA-enabled platform for AI applications at the edge. To me, it is more than a welcoming product, and an extremely interesting one. Here is the details about this in Nvidia site. You can find the Jetson Nano Nvidia site in Google. The Nano has got a nice spec sheet for just $99. GPU based on the Maxwell architecture with 128 CUDA cores and 472 flops of computing power. 4-core ARM Cortex-A57 CPU. 4 GB of LPDDR4 RAM. Gigabit Ethernet, M.2 key slot for wireless radio cards. 12 CSI2 DPHY camera lanes, 5 gigabits per second/lane. Support for Sony IMX219 camera modules, including Raspberry Pi's camera module V2. USB 3.0 and USB 2.0 connectivity. The OS, Ubuntu 18.04. Boots from an SD card, Raspberry Pi style, although Nvidia's page suggests that the Nano has 16 GB of EMC storage, more on this later. It's a 10 watts device powered via microUSB 2.0, 5 volts, 2 amp. The Jetson Nano developer kit includes a 40-pin breakout header that is compatible out of the box with many peripherals and other add-ons. The default GPIO settings on Jetson Nano are compatible with many ecosystem add-on modules and I/O hats. The Jetson GPIO Python library gives you full control of the I/O headers to program them for different modules and interfaces. I am going to tell you the secret about performance of this product. Jetson Nano delivers 472 GFLOPS for running modern AI algorithms fast. It runs multiple neural networks in parallel and processes several high-resolution sensors simultaneously, making it ideal for applications like entry-level network video recorders, NVRs, home robots, and intelligent gateways with full analytics capabilities. Without more ado, let's open the box. The Jetson Nano developer kit arrives in yet another unassuming box. Inside the box is the carrier board itself with the Jetson Nano module and a heatsink already fitted. Also in the box is a small leaflet pointing you at the getting instructions and letting you know which ports should be used to power board and for the monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Finally, there's the somewhat surprising addition of a paper stand to keep the Jetson Nano. At 80 x 100 x 28 mm and weighing 140 grams, the Jetson Nano developer kit isn't a small board. Unlike Raspberry Pi hardware, it doesn't seem possible to set up the Jetson Nano headless without the use of a monitor, keyboard, and mouse. I very rarely use a board in anything but headless mode these days. So, feeling rather like it was 3 years ago, and I got delivered my Logitech K400 Plus with power adapter of 5 volts, 2.5 amp mini USB cable. To see the performance of Jetson Nano, you're going to need a USB power supply and a USB-A to micro USB cable to connect it to Jetson Nano, as well as an HDMI cable to connect the Jetson Nano to your monitor. Predictably, you'll also need a micro SD card, with a minimum size of 16 GB. But, remember, before you buy 16 GB memory card, while the OS image and other installs comfortably fits on a 16 GB card, using that small a card will usually result in the root file system filing up and no space left on device errors during inference. The device lack of onboard Wi-Fi, so either you to position it near to your router with Ethernet cable or get Wi-Fi dongle that support Nvidia's L4T distribution. Let's see how to power up the Jetson Nano. Nvidia recommend that the Jetson Nano dev kit should be powered using a 5 volts micro USB power supply capable of supplying 2A to 3.5A. With a further recommendation to use a 4A power supply if you are running benchmarks or a heavy workload. That's a potentially rather problematically specification requirement for the power supply. Considering how hard it is to find a reliable 2.5 amp supply for the Raspberry Pi, with the official Raspberry Pi USB power supply being one of the few good option, as it was my worst experience getting right one for Jetson Nano. But if you want to hook up more device into Jetson Nano, then you should consider buying 4 amp power supply. Fortunately, the board has a barrel jack as well. You can switch between micro USB and the barrel jack using a jumper. This means that you can power it using a normal DC supply if you're getting under voltage issues with your USB power supply. The first thing you'll need to do is grab the Jetson Nano Developer Kit card image. It weighs in at around 5.64 GB all zipped up, which is about 5 times larger than your average Raspbian download. So, maybe make a cup of coffee? For burning card images these days, I'd generally recommend Etcher, made by the folks at Balena. It's cross-platform, it works on Windows, Linux and Mac OS and lets you burn an image in 4 clicks. Setting the Jetson Nano, plug the board into your monitor, keyboard, and mouse, then go ahead slot the micro SD card into the slot on the underside of the Jetson Nano module. The micro SD card slot is on the Jetson Nano module, not on the carrier board. You should look between the module and the carrier board for the slot. Finally, go ahead and connect it to your power supply and power on the board. The green LED next to the micro USB connection should light up as soon as you power it on. And after it finishes booting, you'll be walked through some initial setup. You may experience the same issue as I was going through. If your Jetson Nano dropped while booting up, then that is caused due to power supply. So make sure you buy the power supply of 5 volts equals 2.5 amps and 5V equals 2 amp won't be sufficient to boot up your device. The Jetson Nano appears to be particularly fussy about its HDMI connection, and wouldn't talk to the 3 older monitors I keep around for debugging. This is presumably down due to HDMI handshaking problems on older hardware. It's not a problem I've seen on a Raspberry Pi before. So please use a display that accepts HDMI or DP input. No worries, Jetson Nano can bright up on your TV that has HDMI input. That's all folks, I got my Jetson Nano set up and I am going to play around with variety of samples. See you in next video.